welcome back to Sure of a Comb. So today we're going to demonstrate the blow dry section of the examination. So as you can see that we are already having the hair section in 4, and the reason why we're section in 4 is so that you have easier control over the hair, and it just creates so much of an easier platform to work on, or easier base to work on, so to speak. So notice as I'm blow drying the hair, I am not putting the brush onto the nozzle of the blow dryer. When you go to Stateboard, they're looking closely at this. So just hold the blow dryer as close to the brush as possible when you're blow drying, so that you can get the heat on the hair, because the heat and the breeze, of course, is what's going to help to dry the hair. So if you hold it out too far, it's going to take much longer to blow dry, and you really don't have a lot of time for these sections, so you want to work efficiently as possible. Always start working from the ends of the hair up to the scalp area, and notice as I blow dry, I follow the brush with my blow dryer as I'm blow drying. One way to tell if the hair is properly dried, you'll notice the color is changed from a darker color to a lighter color. And a lot of times, if you're just blow drying the hair to move on to heat styling, you honestly really don't need a lot of products. You might need a little bit of thermal protector, yes, but generally the shine on the hair, and can you see the little shine that's on my lady's hair? And I haven't used any product on her hair. That's because of the heat from the blow dryer is opening up the oils and sealing the oils from the cuticles of the hair. Our hair has natural oils, so once heat gets on it, the oils will get released and that natural shine will come on the hair. So you will continue to blow dry the hair until it's dry. Also, another way to tell if the hair is dry, you notice how the hair is moving and spreading out more. When the hair is wet, it kind of stays still in one place. When it's dry, it starts to move, flowing in the wind, so to speak. So we'll finish our section right there. What I'm doing right now is just kind of using a blow dryer just to air dry it a little bit, because sometimes some sections might not get dried completely with the brush. So you just use a blow dryer to air dry it a little bit. So now I move on to the front section. Same idea, follow the brush with the blow dryer. And let me correct myself. I say you start working from the ends to from the bottom to the top. So usually I kind of work, use a brush and go in from the roots and pull it all the way down. For more tightly curled hair, this is the action that will be used to stretch the hair and also allow the hair to be straightened while you blow dry as well. This is not a blow drying styling technique that will be used with a round brush. This technique is just for blow drying, just to get the hair dry, just to blow it out, just to make it a little bit straight, especially for African American hair. This is what you'll do to get the hair straight before you start heat styling, whether it might be pressing or thermal curling with the thermal irons or with your flat iron. So this is typically what's done to prepare the hair for heat styling. Once again, this is also the technique used to remove any natural curl pattern that the hair has and to prepare the hair for heat styling. So when blow drying as well, you don't have to stay in one direction. You can pull the hair in various different directions. As you can see right now, I'm going backwards to away from the client's face. You also want to make sure the client is comfortable as possible when you're working. You don't want to have the hair blowing in her face. That's pretty annoying, to be honest. So try and keep the hair away from the client's face while you work and while you blow dry. Sometimes the hair will wrap around the face a little bit, like what you just see happen with my client, but you're still conscious of how you're blow drying, and you're still conscious of controlling the hair so that it doesn't keep swinging around to the face. The hair can be very wet, and sometimes our client comes in with makeup on their face. They might be going to work or going to an event. You don't want to have the hair keep flashing on the face and messing up her makeup. Once again, that's a very annoying experience for somebody who is already prepared to go out and they're just trying to get their hair done before they go. So make sure you continuously maintain control of the brush, your blow dryer, and also maintain control of how the hair moves while you're blow drying. So we're finishing up the back section of the hair. Once again, we're moving the brush in different directions so that the hair can have proper airflow throughout the blow drying session. If you keep brushing the hair down as you blow dry, it's gonna dry, but it's just gonna take longer. So pulling the hair up from the scalp will allow air to flow through the scalp area. It also allows air to flow through the hair shaft. Also, sometimes what you'll notice while you blow drying and after you finish blow drying, your client's scalp might be a little bit damp. So pulling the hair away from the scalp will also ensure that the client's scalp is dry before your thermal styling or your heat styling. Because once you start styling with your heat tools and that scalp is still wet, you're gonna hear a singeing sound, which means it's wet, the client's hair is burning, and possible that she can also have burns on her scalp. So just always make sure that your hair is completely dry before you decide to move on to your heat styling section. Just always move the hair throughout, lift the hair up with the your brush. I kind of had the blow dryer come down on the brush right there a little bit, but as was said before, do not do this at state board. You know, it's just a quick demonstration to show you how to blow dry hair. This is typically how we blow dry hair in the salon. If you blow drying to pull curls from the hair, that's typically how you would do it in the salon. But for state board, keep that blow dryer off the hair. So we're just finishing up this blow drying section. I think she wanted to walk out. Did you see her move? Okay, so we're finishing up this blow drying section right here. And as you can tell, the hair is thoroughly dry. You see it's moving in the wind. And also you notice the color has changed. Notice the different color on the back section and the different color on the front section. The front section is darker than the back. So once again, that's how you can tell if your client's hair is dry or if there's still any wet patches in between the hair after you finish blow drying. So now our client's hair is, for the most part, getting dried completely. It just still have a little bit of dampness in it. You can see the hair is starting to flow. And we're basically finished with our blow drying section when the entire head is dried. So we're just going back through just to make sure everything is completely dried using our brush and blow dryer. And for your blow drying technique or your blow drying section, you can use a paddle brush, you can use a vent brush, or some can may have access to what's called a Denman brush. All those brushes are pretty good for blow drying hair. The wideness of the paddle allows the air to flow through the brush easier. So once again, right here, you just kind of air dry it just to make sure there's any dry spots. Sometimes around the nape might get stuck on the client's neck, so it might be a little bit wet. So just doing this just ensures you have the hair completely dried. Just air dry it with your brush and just use your hands just to let the air flow through it. You don't necessarily have to use your brush in this case when the hair is pretty much, this is like 95% dry, if not 99.9% dry really at this point. So we're just going through just to air dry it and just let that air flow through it and just make sure all sections are completely dried. So after this, you can move on to your heat styling and choose whatever partings your clients like. Side part, center part, you choose it, they name it. Give the client what they want, as long as it makes sense, right? All right. So thank you so much again for joining us at soc.consulting for your state board prep.